Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, a limbo champion walked into a bar. He was disqualified. Today, we're taking a look at Punica, Rome vs. Carthage. Now, this is from Phalanx Ltd, Phalanx Games. Now, this, you can relive that war in 20 minutes. This is a 1 to 2 player game, so it's going to be a little fast one, and it's a small little box, which I like. So, let's go down to the table, let's open this thing up, and let's see what's on the inside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We got Punica, Rome vs. Carthage, and this is from Phalanx Games, okay? And I got to say, I love the artwork on this cover, but the artwork's all done by the Miko, and I like the Miko stuff. And the game, it looks like it's done by Maruz Rozik. Horrible with names. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Absolutely sorry. But looks like what we're going to get is we're going to get one little board. You can have your cards on each one of your sides, and it's just going to be a little battle. We've got a little C right out there. Little 2-player game, like I said, 20 minutes, and you're looking at ages 14 and up. So there's not a whole lot in this game, but it's also a little fast game. And I really like these little fast games. There's been a lot of them coming out lately, especially on the war side. So more that come out, happier I am. Because sometimes you only have 30 minutes or so when you want to play a game, and this is going to do it for you. Okay, so what are we going to get? Unforgettable Moments. We're going to get this huge, huge book from Phalanx Games. You know what? I'm going to run through this really fast because let's see what Phalanx has. Purple Haze, always want to play it. Haven't had a chance. This, I've seen this game. Okay. As a matter of fact, it showed up and we have to do an unboxing and playthrough of this game. So we're going to see this one here shortly. And I've never heard of that one, actually. I've heard of this one. See, Rocketman, haven't heard of that one. Wow, I've heard of Triumph. Man, Hannibal, Rome vs. Carthage, okay, and Hamilcar. So these look like they're the same, type of smaller box games. Haven't played either one of those either. Not that I'm remembering. Okay, Successors, Hands in the Sea. Man, U-Boat. I heard this was actually a really good game. Fiddly, but I've always wanted to play it. Never got a chance. Nest of Eagles. Race to Moscow, fantastic game. Keep them rolling. Super fantastic game. Played both of those. Iron, Blood, Snow, and Mud. Absolutely love this game. Total Domination. That was a great game as well. Never played either one of those two. Wow, man, look at this. Freedom. Okay, that is great. That is great. Okay, they got a lot of stuff in there. Now, here's going to be our rule book, and they're going to give us a couple languages. It's only 8 pages, so there's not a ton to this game. That's why I like it. Roman player, Carthage player. Looks like that's going to be your armies and your setup. Winning the game, core concepts. All right, and it looks like we're just going to have our C, our cards, what we're going to have. Fleet deployment. Here's your battle. Wow, that's my kind of 20-minute game. Small rule book. Looks like we're going to get a couple other languages in those rule books. All right, not going to need any of those myself. Now, player aids. Looks like we're going to get a player aid if you're Rome. All right, so that's front side, and that's player aid for Carthage. All right, and it looks like we're going to have another one, Rome and Carthage, and it looks like we're going to get a bunch more in a bunch of different languages. So this is definitely a multilingual game, okay? Or at least the copy we have is going to cover a lot. Now, what I'm curious of is how big is this board? Because some of these games don't have a super big board, but boy, this one looks pretty good. Okay, it's just going to be a one-sided board. I can tell from the back. But let's see, here we go. We'll kind of flip this around on both sides. I can just barely get it in there. Okay, looks like we're going to have a little track here for something, maybe our victory points or whatnot. Okay, maybe some landing spots, set up for troops maybe. There's going to be your other side. Very nice. Looks good. I like it. Okay, don't need a whole lot in this one from what I'm seeing. Now, we're going to get some components. What are we going to get? Now, these are really light, and it looks like, I think they feel kind of plastic, but that's okay. They look really good. So you got your little shield, and the guy's got his little sword. So these are going to be like your little foot soldiers. All right. Okay, we'll put those off to the side. What are we going to get here? I mean, these are like super lightweight too. Really lightweight. All right, and there we go. We got like our little pikeman. Okay. Cool. Very nice. You know what? It's always better than just seeing a little cube out there, right? Okay, nothing like having an actual miniature. Now, these it looks like are going to be our sailing vessels. And that, we're going to have an elephant. There you go. It looks like we're going to have our ships and our elephant. Is the elephant the first player marker? Could very well be. I don't know. I didn't look in the rulebook for that, but I am kind of curious about that now. So just because, well, it could easily be the first player marker. Now, cards. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of cards in this game, and it looks like there's going to be nothing underneath the box either. So let's take a look. Boy, this is definitely one of those games that's going to be fast to learn and quick to play, and I like it. Okay, so I have no idea what this number is going to stand for. Absolutely no idea, but we're going to get 2 of those cards. I don't know if it's going to be a cost to get troops out there or what it's going to be, but we're going to get some cards from each one of the factions. There's not a whole lot of them. So just take a look at that gorgeous artwork on there. I mean, look at that. Wow, the Miko is just phenomenal. Okay, and here we go. Just pause it for a second if you want to take a look at it. There's not a whole lot to this game, so I can actually leave it on here just a little bit longer. And there you go. So it looks like actually the number here correlates to the card number. So you can actually look at this and you can see what the card number is. So there's 6 cards per side. Okay, so really the only reason we need to see this is because we want to look at the artwork, because we already saw everything here on that player aid. But I mean, look at that. Yeah, he's going to war. We know it. We can see it. Look at that shield. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Absolutely gorgeous artwork in this game. And that's good. Okay, so I'm actually going to have a hard time doing this because you guys like watching me fumble around, don't you? Okay, I have to kind of do it off camera just a hair, but there we go. We got these cards back in here. I want to keep them in there until we're ready to play. All right, let's put the components back in there. We're going to put our rule book. The box is actually a little bit bigger than what it probably needs to be, but it looks like if you want to sleeve those cards, you can sleeve those cards. Everything fits back in there perfectly. And there you go. That is Punica Rome vs. Carthage. Small little game by Phalanx Games. Looks fantastic. Can't wait to play this. And like I said, that cover art is amazing. So there you go. So let's head back up top and let's close this out. Well, there you go, folks. That was Punica Rome vs. Carthage from Phalanx Games. This game looks absolutely phenomenal, and I'm not just talking about the artwork because, well, that looks phenomenal as well, but these little small games, Phalanx Games, they do a fantastic job on their stuff, and I really like these. I love closing out a game night with these. You know, you get done playing, you got an hour to go, and you're like, man, we should just play something. I don't really want to go home yet. Well, I like going home, but, you know, I like to play one more thing first. These are perfect for that. I can't wait to get this from the table and give it a try. Well, thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we please ask you to like this video on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on Facebook, or even on X. Please leave us a comment on any one of those platforms, and we'll get to those comments just as soon as we can. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel and you like our content, we ask you to go ahead and click on that subscription button, and even click on the bell and be notified when we drop new videos. Also, if you like the videos that I provide here, I do post videos over on my own channel. I'll do some unboxing, some playthroughs, and even some reviews over there. It's just stuff from my personal collection. There will be a link to my channel in the details below. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you like the content we provide here, we humbly ask you click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. You know, my daughter came up to me and she says, Dad, I'm worried about my driving test. I'm like, you have no need to worry. Your parking skills are unparalleled.